Hi everybody, welcome to this channel if you're new, welcome back if you're not. My name is Catherine and I'm gonna get straight to the point here. There have been books that I have been putting off simply because I'm way too scared to read them or for whatever reason. And so I thought, you know what, for this video, I'm gonna read the books that I've been putting off because I cannot keep doing that. There are so many books that I've been putting off and there's some on my bookshelf and I've already selected a few for this video. So I thought I would introduce to you the first book that I've been putting off forever, and that is Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. Now look, I know that this book has so much hype around it. I bought it when it first came out. I even have the spray edges. I'm gonna be honest, when this book came out, I had such high expectations because everybody kept talking about it. But then afterwards, I saw mixed reviews and I'm a huge fan of dragons. One of my favorite shows ever is House of the Dragon, Team Black, by the way. But I was like, okay, I have such high expectations, but I don't want to be let down. I just kept putting this off and stalling and I never read it. But I thought, you know what, Iron Flame, the second book, is already out. I cannot keep waiting. So I thought for this video, I would start off by reading Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. I'm genuinely really excited. I have a feeling I will enjoy it, but I'm scared that I'm going to be disappointed. But we'll have to see. So let's get into it. I've been reading for a while now, and I just decided to come down and get myself a snack. I'm eating the Doritos Cool Ranch. Not that you care, but let me just say that I may be a little overconfident when I say this, and it is that I feel like I have a 75% chance of making it past the parapet without wind and heavy storms. I feel like I could do it. Like, I don't know if that's just me being a little too overconfident in myself and my abilities, but tell me why I think that I could actually make it past that. Also, tell me, what is Jack's problem? Like, what is his problem? That man is aggressive for absolutely no reason. He has like a personal vendetta against Violet. For what? She's just trying to cross. Like, what? Why is he so angry? Oh, that's a spoiler. I will not be saying spoilers. This will be a spoiler-free vlog. But I'm just saying, like, he is aggressive for absolutely no reason. There's no reason for him to be this aggressive. I have moved on to cinnamon raisin bread. Anyways, another thing that I wanted to mention is Xaden. I have a deep feeling that he's just gonna be another one of my book boyfriends. Even though he is so rude to Violet and he's actually wishing death upon her right now, that is fine. I love a good enemies to lovers. Oh, Rhiannon? I love Rhiannon. She is so sweet. I'm glad that Violet's made a friend, even though her sister literally said to not make a friend, but whatever. Reading this makes me realize that I should have read this sooner. Why was I so scared to read this? I actually really enjoyed this book. Also, I really like Violet's narration. She's kind of funny. I'm currently at the part right now where Violet and Dane, they're in a little argument because he's like, no, go to the scribe quadrant. And she's like, no, I can't. That's basically what is happening right now. Anyways, I'm enjoying this book. I now know why this book is called Fourth Wing. And let me just say that this plot is really progressing really quickly too, because I'm not that far in and already a lot is happening. Also, if you don't know what Fourth Wing is about, first of all, where have you been? But second of all, I'm about to give you a really bad premise. Basically, it follows Violet Sorrengail, and she is part of Basgiath College, and she has been training her entire life to become a scribe. But then one of these days, her mom is like, yeah, no, you are gonna be a writer. You are gonna go into the writer's quadrant. So she's forced into the writer's quadrant where literally like half of the candidates die before they even graduate. And she is forced to be part of this quadrant. So then this is her and her journey through the writer's quadrant, trying to get a dragon, and there's a lot of world politics and war and such. So this is what this book is about. Did a really bad job at explaining it, but let me just say that I am obsessed with this book so far. I think that if I was part of the writer's quadrant in this college, I would most definitely die on the first day. I'm at the part where Violet is reading Brennan's little journal to Mira, and let me just say that this is adorable. And I hope that he has really good advice in here to keep her alive because Miss Violet is breaking left and right. Dust Jacket is like squeaking every single chance it gets, so I'll be taking that off. Also, I don't like ruining the dust jacket anyways. Dude, Violet has so many enemies in this college. I actually feel so bad for her, but she is a trooper because she is still going. Also, it's getting more and more difficult to actually hate Xaden because I don't hate Xaden at all. You know what I'm thinking about when I read about this gauntlet? I'm imagining the obstacle courses from Wipeout and American Ninja Warrior. You cannot tell me that it's a different obstacle course. That is the obstacle course for the gauntlet. I completely understand where Dane is coming from. He's trying to protect Violet. They were close friends, but at the same time, I feel like he's overstepping. Like, he is doing a lot, even though she already mentioned that she is not going to leave the writer's quadrant. I'm just so excited for what's to come because I have a feeling a lot is going to come. This move that Dane did, this one part, let me just say that Violet is that girl. I feel terrible for Pryor, but I just want to say that whatever happened to Pryor, I hope happens to Luca as well, because She is insufferable. I spoke a little too soon. I am glad. It is October 1st. It is the official day of the threshing, and let me just say that my heart is pumping. I don't know what that hand gesture was, but just know that my heart is pumping because I am so excited for this moment. I do know a little bit of spoilers because I've been on TikTok and I've seen all the, TikTok. But either way, I'm really excited to actually read this part. I just have no words. Guys, how the heck do I pronounce some of these dragon names? This moment right here. Oh my goodness. Also, by the way, my parents just came back from Japan and they got me this really cute bookmark. So I love it. I'm using it right now. Now, very unfortunately for Violet, her fate is somehow tied to Xaden's, but very fortunately for me, her fate is somehow tied to Xaden's. Violet's mortal enemy. Let's keep her alive now. Can you imagine? By the way, I have no idea if I'm pronouncing any of these dragon names correctly, but I just want to say that Tarnanok is the silliest dragon. He's just one big old grumpy dragon, and the exchanges that he and Violet have together in their mind, it's hilarious to me. Like, I enjoy reading it so much. I don't know what it is, and if I said this before, I'll just say it again. Dane is kind of getting on my nerves because he's just so pessimistic about Violet's future and just Violet in general. He has no faith in her. Okay, I have something to admit. For the past 2 weeks, I have not been reading this book, but I have a very good reason why I have not been reading this book, and it is because for the past 2 weeks, I have been vacationing in France and Italy, and let me just say that I had the time of my life over there. I absolutely love France and I absolutely love Italy. I'm honestly kind of sad to be back home, but at least I have Fourth Wing to cheer me up because let me just say that not a day went by where I did not think about this book. I left on a cliffhanger, and then oddly enough, for some reason, I started getting a lot of TikTok about Fourth Wing when I was over there. Anyways, safe to say that I am really excited to pick up this book, but since I did vacation out of the country, I did take some videos, so I'm going to insert it right here because I did not take them for nothing. Both of them are beautiful countries. I went to Paris, Positano, Venice, and Rome. Had the time of my life there, but I'm excited to start reading this again. Okay, I've been reading for a bit, and you're telling me that when these dragons feel this lust and desire, that the writers feel it too? That is crazy. Like, I understand that they are connected, and I understand that they, channel each other's thoughts and emotions and whatever, but that is insane. Can we get some claps for Violet? Because she is so bold. This little dialogue exchange that she and Xaden have on the mat, I could never do that. She is so bold. She is who I aspire to be. Liam is like my absolute baby. I love Liam so much. Like, he's so precious. Violet's little reunion with her sister is absolutely adorable, but tell me why in my gut I have a feeling that there is something that's going to go wrong. I don't know what it is. I just have this feeling, like, I don't know. Okay, so I was just doing a little bit of thinking before I hopped into my shower, but let me do some thinking out loud here because I just had this thought. You're telling me that the rebels' children are forced into the Riders Quadrant, and this is not a spoiler by the way, but they're forced into the Riders Quadrant where they may or may not die, and this is a punishment for their parents' crimes. And as we all know that those who are put into the Riders Quadrant, of course, the strongest survive. So the strong children will survive. They will get a dragon, they will develop some powers, and that's like the strongest of the strong, right? And you're telling me that you will put these rebel children through that and give them the opportunity to somehow get a dragon, to get a signet, and you're not scared that they would somehow rebel? Like, you're not scared that they would somehow be super angry because their parents were slaughtered and now they want to get revenge and avenge their parents? Like, are you not scared of that? Because I was just thinking, like, all of these rebel children are in there, and of course the strong are alive, and you're not worried that they will rebel and try to avenge their parents who were slaughtered. Okay, maybe this sounds really awful of me, but I feel like if I was part of the government, these rebel children, like, of course, I don't think that they deserve to pay for their parents' crimes, but I would not put them through a Riders Quadrant just like because they may or may not get a dragon, and that is very powerful. Like, I don't know what I would do. I'd put them in the Scribe Quadrant or something, like, or the Healer Quadrant, like, but now they may or may not have dragons. and they're like super strong and they have powers. Like what? Zayden and Violet are having a moment right now, and dare I say it is electric. Haha, do you guys see what I did there? I feel like I'm so funny. Okay, this makes so much more sense now. The chance of death over the certainty. I see what he did here. My camera died last night, and to be honest, I was way too lazy to go take out something to record, but I did read a substantial amount of this book yesterday. And let me just say that if you know me, you know that I'm pretty unemotional. I don't really cry. I'm not really affected by character deaths, but let me just say that this one had a kick to it. And then this person being like, it's been my honor, that gutted me. I'm gonna be honest, that gutted me. Also, this betrayal, just know that I never liked this person. Also, I saw it coming from miles away because I just never liked this person. Also because of TikTok, shout out TikTok because they did spoil it for me, but that's because I am just curious, and so curiosity killed the cat, and in this case the cat was the book not being spoiled. I enjoy spoiling everything for myself. But anyways, I already saw this one coming, so it doesn't hurt as much as it should, but it does still make me annoyed because I never liked this person. You're telling me that there was a Zayden point of view this entire time? Why didn't I not get this throughout the book? I just finished Fourth Wing, and let me just say that I am on a book high right now. I love this book so much. I need Iron Flame like right now. My book review will be at the end, but I'm so upset because I should have read this book sooner. It is the next day. I gave myself a small break after reading Fourth Wing, but I'm now ready to get back into reading and just reading all the books I've been way too scared to read. So let me introduce to you the next book that I'm going to read, and it is One for My Enemy by Olivia Blake. If you don't know what this book is about, it is a Romeo and Juliet retelling set in modern day Manhattan between two rival witch families who are competing against one another to control their criminal empire. So the premise is incredibly interesting, but the premise is not the problem. The problem is Olivia Blake's writing. I've just been way too scared to read it because I tried reading the Atlas 6 long ago and I just could not get into it. If you guys have read Olivia Blake, you know that she has a very specific writing style, and I feel like it was just so advanced for me. It overwhelmed me, and I just have not picked up an Olivia Blake book since then. But I bought this book because I just saw the pictures and it was very, very beautiful, and I was like, okay, give Olivia Blake another chance. But it's been sitting on my bookshelf forever now, so I think it's finally time that we read this book. I'm currently on page 32, so I've been reading for a while now, and I will say that this book, One for My Enemy, is so much easier to read than the Atlas 6, which is Olivia Blake's other book and the first book that I read of hers. And again, this is just my opinion. It's just no hate to Olivia Blake at all. She has beautiful writing. I just am not advanced enough to understand, which is why I think I had such a difficult time getting through the Atlas 6 because it just wasn't working up here, if you know what I mean. Like it didn't work. But this one, so much easier to read, and it starts off with like such an action-packed scene, like a lot of tension, and I absolutely loved it. Okay, I just finished Act 1 of One for My Enemy, and I want to talk about it because there's so many things I want to talk about. First and foremost, let's give a nice little appreciation shout out to the beautiful art. So when you open up the front, this is the Antonova family, and then on the back is the Fedorov family. Also, I realized that I'm probably mispronouncing these names, and I'm so sorry because I feel like this entire video is just me mispronouncing names for like 20 minutes straight, because I think even in Fourth Wing, I could not pronounce any of these names. But anyways, sorry for butchering them. I think that a lot of Olivia Blake's books have some type of art in it. I think there was some art in the Atlas 6 as well. I didn't get far into it, so I don't remember. But look, there's art here, and there's art here too. It's so beautiful. Every single time I come across it, it's like a reward. Now, I'm not sure if I did a very good job at explaining what this book is about and all the little details of it, but it does follow the Antonova family and the Fedorov family, and they are running their own respective criminal empires set in modern day Manhattan, where there's witches, and so there's like magical drugs and blah blah blah. And of course they're rivals because their empires are like clashing with one another over who can sell the most, who can make most profit, etc. And as I'm reading this, I sense that there are at least two romance stories in this. So first I see one between Maria and Dmitri, also known as Masha and Dima, and I really enjoyed reading the first couple of pages because right off the bat you could see the tension between the two. I want to say it's some type of like forbidden romance because, well, one, she's currently married, and also I think they used to be lovers in the past, but obviously she is the oldest of the Antonova family and he is the oldest of the Fedorov family, and they're both rivals. So I feel like this is some type of forbidden romance. I think you could tell that they used to love each other like way back when, but now they're much older. I just love the tension so much, and you could see all the tension straight off the bat. So I think that's one of the romance. But the other romance is between Lev and Sasha, and they meet each other at this like college bar, and there's already this like connection and attraction. And of course I feel like it's also some type of forbidden romance because they are from rival families. By the way, I don't really think that this is a spoiler. I mean, you really do get it it within like the first couple pages of this book. I love how it's written. I love the romance so far. I love the like tension and the rivalry that these two criminal empires have. And I love this book. I'm very, very interested in it. It's much different than Fourth Wing, like the writing style and like just the whole book in general, and I am really enjoying it. Those are my only words. I don't know why I keep repeating myself, but I'm gonna continue reading and I'm gonna keep you guys updated. I have eczema, and in the summer my eczema tends to flare up, so if I'm a little red here, do not fear. Guys, I am a rhyming genius. Anyways, I am reading a text message between Lev and Sasha right now. They're texting each other, and let me just say that it is the cutest thing ever, but also at the same time, if Lev or some boy texted me like this, like the way that Lev is texting, I would get the ick so fast. That sounds so mean. Actually, that sounds so mean of me. But this guy is not only double texting, he's like triple texting, quadruple texting. Let me read you actually all of his texts. Actually, better yet, let me show you. Like all of these, that's just him texting. Now that is a little much for me. Okay, wait, this is actually incredibly cute, so I'm gonna read you a little text message exchange between Lev and Sasha because it's so adorable and I was kind of grinning. So they're texting, right? And he's like, what are you thinking about? And she's like, that's a weird question. And he's like, no, it isn't. Like, you ask me. And she goes, okay, fine. What are you thinking about? And then he goes on this huge rant about how he thinks that it's really strange that people trust their doormen so much, and how if he were to commit a crime, he would try to pose as a doorman because everybody trusts doormen and blah 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 blah. So he goes on this long rant, and then afterwards he texts, I'm also thinking about how much I want to see you. Can I kiss you? Actually no, don't tell me. Surprise me. And Sasha goes, I honestly don't know what to say to any of this. And he's like, good. Personally, I like the idea of rendering you speechless. Like, are you kidding me? I like this so much. I'm doing some post-work reading right now, and all I have to say is that Dimitri and Maria, they have my soul crushed right now, okay? Also, I did just finish Act 2, so now I am on Act 3, and I thought I would show you the picture as well because the art is just absolutely stunning. Okay, so this is the art for Act 3. I think I know these characters, but I'm gonna be honest, sometimes it's hard for me to distinguish who is who, but I am pretty sure that is Roman and that is the father. I forgot his name. The brothers are currently fighting right now over succession and who they think should take over the father's criminal empire, and let me just say that this is my favorite type of family drama. As you could tell, we are currently in the car, and I don't know if you can hear the AC in the back, but I'm sorry if you can. It's just that I am very, very hot, and so I don't want to turn it off because I feel like I'll suffocate if I do turn it off because we are experiencing a heat wave at the moment. It is 95 degrees outside. Hold on. Hello?
Hello?
Hi, I'm outside.
Where?
In the parking lot.
I'm next to light. Okay, hi.
Awkward. Anyways, I'll make this fast. So I've been reading a little bit more. The book is upside down, that's fine. And I just wanted to say that I am not a big fan of Roman, and I don't really support his actions. However, I have a deep understanding of why he did what he did, and I'm like, okay, it's hard for me to hate him in a way because I'm like, okay, I understand. I kind of sympathize with him, and I see why he did what he did, but I just don't I don't like what he did, but I see why he did it. So that's all I wanted to say. Okay, I'm gonna go in because I guess I'm late. I have made it to Act 4, and I thought I would also show you the nice art if I could flip the page. Here is the art for it. It is very, very beautiful. You know what I absolutely love? A good criminal deal. And you know what? I will say it. The Antonovas are very good criminals. So much is happening right now. I would read something and I would not be able to believe what I just read. So I would have to go back and reread it. We're about 200 pages in right now and I still have 200 pages left. So I'm kind of wondering what is going to be in the other 200 pages because, like I said, so much has already happened. But I have a feeling that I am about to finish. What act am I on? Act 2? I think I'm on Act 2. Let me skip ahead. Oh, I'm actually on Act 3. Okay, so I have a feeling I'm going to finish that act soon enough and I'm going to start the next act. So I think that's going to be my stopping point for tonight. Can I just say that I feel like it would absolutely suck to be Stas? Like, imagine just knowing that you're second place. The way that you could definitely tell that there is a favorite child. Like, they obviously know. Like, yeah, Dima and Masha, they are the favorite. I would pay millions and billions if I had that in my bank account to get just one whole book on the Antonova sisters. Do not get me wrong when I say this. I love Sasha, I love Lev, but I am wondering if this is moving too fast because what? They've known each other for like a week and you're already making all of these claims of love and these declarations of love. Like, pause. you've known each other for like a month, right? Like, how are you guys this in love? Maybe, I don't know. I've never been in love like that, but like, but I feel like it's fast. I'm about to say something and know that I will die on this hill. I'm a firm believer in that when something is too repetitive or it's mentioned too many times throughout the book or in real life, then it loses its meaning. Now, what I mean by that, for example, I'll use microtropes. So like one bed scenes or knife to throat scenes. The first time it happens, wow, shock factor. Second time it happens, also shock factor. But then the third and fourth and fifth, sixth, seventh time it happens, it's not as shocking anymore. It loses its impact. At that point, I'm just like, okay, well, might as well just cut his throat. That sounds so bad, but do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, it loses its meaning. It's not as shocking as the first time because it just keeps happening so many times. And so when it comes to this book, I feel like there's one part in it, and I don't want to spoil it, so I'll just say something along the lines of like life and death. I feel like there's this concept of life and death in here, and if you know the book and you've read the book, then you know what I'm talking about. It's just so repetitive. Like, there's not a huge impact. Sorry, I'm rambling, but yeah, I just wanted to get that point across. Okay, I'm reading right now, and you know, I always had this feeling that this person kind of liked this other person. Maybe not like, but definitely admired. I was just thinking, like, poor Roman. I mean, it's the consequences of your own actions, but poor Roman, this guy's going through it. First of all, Masha and Dima have my entire heart. Second, Roman seeing this person's ghost is so funny to me. It is so funny. I mean, he's going through it and I feel bad for him, but at the same time, it's absolutely hilarious. The couple that I so dearly love is together right now, and look how many pages I have left. That is way too much for there to be a happy couple and a happy ending. Like, you already know something is gonna go down between this last few chunk of pages, and now I'm kind of panicking. I need these two to put two and two together and do it fast, because I am mentally face palming my forehead right now, because like, how have you guys not figured things out? Hear me out. What if you just take over your respective criminal empire and then call a truce with the new generation? But like, call a truce for realsies, you know, with the new generation. No more warfare. Or like, global domination of all of New York. Hear me out. Witches Bureau during the daytime, criminal empire during the nighttime. No sleep, money. I have some dinner plans with some friends, but I'm doing a little bit of reading right now, and I just want to say that this book should probably end right now. The couples are together. I feel like they're in a good place. Like, just take down whoever you need to take down, okay? Stop the book. I'm gonna close it. I'm gonna go to dinner. I'm not even gonna read it. I finished my dinner with my friends, and I was just sitting in my car and reading a little bit, and I finished the book. And let me just say that this ending is so incredibly bittersweet. I'm so glad that there's an epilogue, because the epilogue, I feel like, wraps together the entire book so nicely. I don't understand how people don't like reading epilogues, because I know people who don't like reading epilogues, but I'm like, I feel like an epilogue provides such a nice conclusion. So I'm so glad that this book has an epilogue, because without it, I feel like there would have been a gaping hole. I mean, there still is. We all know, like I said, it is a retelling, so we all know what happens, but this is just such a bittersweet ending. I cannot believe I finished this book. The lighting is incredibly bad, I know, but we're just gonna have to deal with it for now, because as I am waiting in this car for my friends to come, I thought I would do my quick little book review. For this video, I thought I would only read Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros and One for My Enemy by Olive Blake, so here's my little review portion, and as always, please take everything I say with a grain of salt. You may agree with me, you may disagree with me, that is totally okay. Without further ado, let's get into the first book, shall we? And that is Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. Now, here's the thing. I enjoyed this book so much. It was a 4.25 or maybe 4.5 out of 5 stars. I loved it. It was very entertaining, very action-packed, a lot of thrill and anticipation in this book. It left me on a cliffhanger. I loved reading Violet's point of view. Xaden was amazing. Now, of course, this book was marketed as enemies to lovers, and I feel like the big trend nowadays is that it's marketed as enemies to lovers, but it's not really enemies to lovers, because if we're being honest here, the entire time Violet was like, oh my god, I should stay away from this man, he's dangerous, he's my enemy, blah blah blah, but then she was also like, wow, this man is so hot. Understandably so, but I feel like that's not really enemies to lovers. So I feel like they kind of failed me with that part. It's not really enemies to lovers. However, they really made it up with the whole dragons and the signet powers, because I had a blast reading that. Pun intended. But really, I thought that this was so much fun. Now, I think I mentioned it at the beginning, the whole reason why I put this off, and I'm so mad that I put it off, was because I just had such high expectations, and I am a big fan of dragons, and I just had so many expectations going into this, and I did not want to be disappointed, and I was not disappointed. It was very entertaining. It was very action-packed. I wouldn't say that you should expect a literary masterpiece, but again, I had a very fun time reading this. I would definitely recommend this to people. I'm glad I read it. I don't regret it at all. 4.25 or maybe 4.5 out of 5. I had a blast reading this, so highly recommend. On to to my most recent read, One for My Enemy by Olivia Blake. I ended up rating this a 4.5 or 4.75 out of 5. Maybe it's because I just finished reading it and I'm just like on a high right now, but I genuinely enjoy this book. This book was so beautifully written. I was so scared to read this book because I am in fact intimidated by Olivia Blake's writing, and still am, because I will say that there were some parts in here that did feel a little repetitive. It felt like very wordy. I felt like I was reading a thesaurus. However, I'm glad that I read this. I loved all the storylines in here. I love the idea of the criminal empire. I could read a book solely based on the criminal empire. Like, I don't need anything else. If you just gave me the criminal empire, them growing up and all the sisters and their powers and everything, I would eat that up because I had such a fun time reading about the criminal empire. The romances in here also very entertaining to me as well. There were two. One of them I absolutely loved. The other one, to me, felt a very insta-lovey. I was like, you guys just met and now you guys are like so in love with one another. I don't know. That was a little bit insta-lovey for me. However, the other one, absolutely adored. There was so much angst, there was so much tension, so much yearning, so much longing because they spent years apart but still always thought about each other. Like, that is the type of romance that I love. So I had a very, very, very great time reading about their love story. The other one was meh. Also really like the idea of their powers. Oh my gosh, they have ice cream. I want ice cream. Okay, anyways, overall, I definitely recommend this book because I had such a fun time reading it. I'm glad that I gave Olivia Blake another chance because this was just so beautifully written. The epilogue wrapped everything up so nicely. The characters just felt so real to me as well. If you have to read an Olivia Blake book, you should read this one. So 4.5, 4.75 out of 5. Now with that, I will conclude my video. Thank you so much for watching, especially if you made it this far, because I feel like I was very chaotic while recording this. So thank you so much for watching. If you want to follow me, all of my socials will be linked down below. That car right next to me, I think, is staring. So I'm gonna wrap this up really, really quickly. Thank you so much again for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!